through your food or through the cleaning products in your home. Those are all sources of free radicals, all right? If you choose to smoke cigarettes, you're getting 1 quadrillion free radicals per inhalation. So that's going to put a huge stress on your cellular health if you choose to smoke cigarettes, okay? So those are different outside sources of free radicals. But our body also produces free radical molecules, okay? When we're under stress or we're sick or we have inflammation, too much inflammation, our body can produce free radical molecules, all right? But this is the thing I want you to remember most. The very process of eating and breathing and moving creates the greatest threat on a cellular level, a free radical threat on a cellular level. Okay? I'll say that again. More than your outside sources, your internal production of free radical molecules is the greatest toxic load on your cells. All right? Now, that's a real happy thought. Did I depress everybody enough? Okay, sorry. Let me explain why. In each of our cells, we have these little structures right here called the mitochondria. And in the mitochondria is where we combine the oxygen we breathe with the food we eat, and it creates an energy chemical called ATP. This happens in your cells all the time, all your cells, okay? And without ATP, you would die. ATP is the energy chemical that we need for life and for action, all right? The problem is the exhaust of that process comes in the form of free radical molecules. And when our cells are exposed, when the mitochondria is making that ATP, and our cells are pumping, or the mitochondria is pumping out these free radical molecules, that can cause damage to cell structures and particularly to the DNA in our cells. And that's not a good thing, all right? So here's my question for you. Again, is everybody set? You feel that happening right now? Oh, you're just sitting there. And should we just close our eyes and die? No, we're not going to die. Do you think nature would have designed ourselves this way without an answer to this? No, nature would not have done that, right? Well, let me tell you the answer that we have to our free radicals in our cells. There are another group of molecules called antioxidants. And those are molecules that have 1 or more electrons to share. So when a free radical molecule comes in contact with an antioxidant molecule, the antioxidant shares electrons and they're both very happy with that, okay? It neutralizes, it stops that oxidation process, all right? So, how do we get antioxidants to our cells? All right, well, there's both outside sources of antioxidants and internal sources of antioxidants, just like free radicals. Okay, our outside sources of antioxidants come from the food that we eat, and our bodies depend on us eating large amounts of antioxidants. And we find antioxidants in fresh fruits and vegetables. Okay, all those bright, colorful foods that we eat are rich in antioxidants. That is why we always say, eat more fruits and vegetables. One of the reasons. They're rich in antioxidants. They're also rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. But one of the reasons we want to eat lots of fruits and vegetables is because they're rich in antioxidants. Okay? I need to say, flan no es una fuente buena de antioxidants, okay? Ni las papas fritas, okay? Okay? Bread. Yeah, pan. No tiene antioxidants, okay? Me gusta pancitos, pero we have to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, all right? Our bodies can also produce antioxidants, and our body does produce, particularly in our liver, produces lots of antioxidants to balance out that free radical stress on our cells, okay? Now, how then can we make sure that we're keeping our free radical antioxidants in balance? Okay? Well, the first thing I've already talked about. We can eat more fruits and vegetables that are rich in antioxidants. But the other thing we can consider doing is taking a dietary supplement that is rich in supplemental antioxidants. All right? The three products of the Lifelong Vitality Pack are a great blend of powerful antioxidants that we can take supplementally on a day-to-day basis. In the Alpha CRS product, we have a group of antioxidants called polyphenols. And those polyphenols are some of the most powerful antioxidants that we know of that we can take in our diet. Okay, it has some high levels of those polyphenols. In the Z Omega product, we have a group of antioxidants called the carotenoids. Okay, like beta carotene, lutein, lycopene. That's a group of antioxidants called carotenoids. Those are very active in your brain, for heart health, and also very active where? In your eyes. Why do we have a lot of carotenoids in our eyes? Because we're constantly processing light, sunlight, that can cause damage. As that focuses on the back of our eyes, that can cause free radical damage on the back of our eyes. So our body takes a lot of carotenoids and stores them in the back of our eyes to protect our eyes from that free radical damage. Isn't that amazing? Okay? So you get those carotenoids in the Z Omega. When you take the Microplex VMZ, in addition to getting the activity of the vitamin and minerals as nutrients, many of the vitamins and minerals also function as powerful antioxidants. Together in the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you're making a great investment in an insurance against having too much oxidation on your cells on a cellular level, okay? And this is the one way that we can maybe slow down that aging process, is consider oxidation, eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and take the Lifelong Vitality Pack that has supplemental antioxidants, okay? Now, let's talk about the other part of this aging equation, and that is inflammation. And by the way, these two are connected to each other, because if we have unchecked oxidation, it can trigger inflammation. If we have an inflammation, actually can generate more free radicals, okay? So those are actually tied very closely together, all right? So we've talked about maybe stopping the oxidation, but let's talk about inflammation. But I want to begin with a quiz. Raise your hand if you think inflammation is bad. Okay? Raise your hand if you think inflammation is good. Raise your hand if you think inflammation is good and bad. Okay, everybody raise your hand. Okay. Inflammation is not bad. Okay? Inflammation is your body's natural defensive response to some type of stress. If you did not have inflammation, the first time you got an infection, you would die. Okay? So we want to make clear, inflammation is not a bad thing. Inflammation happens when your body is put under stress. Your body responds with a defensive response. And after the response is over, it should go back down. And then it encounters another stress, and it responds, and it goes down. Okay? So your inflammation should look like this. That's normal. We all have that. Normal, healthy thing. Okay? All right? Yeah. So, but what we want to make sure that we don't have going on is if the inflammation goes up and we're constantly under cellular stress and stays up here, if you have constant inflammation like this over time, we call that chronic inflammation, and that's not good. Too much inflammation is a problem. But actually, too little inflammation is a problem too. We just want to have this nice, healthy response in our bodies all throughout our lives, okay? So, one of the triggers of inflammation on a cellular level is this free radical stress. If we have this constant free radical stress on our cells are going to be in a constant state of defensive response. So how can we help make sure that that doesn't happen? Well, one of the things we can do is reduce that oxidative stress. And we've already talked about how to do that, right? Now, if we have this constant chronic levels of inflammation, how is that going to be manifested in our health? All right? Well, chronic inflammation is associated with a number of things. First of all, if you have chronic pain, that is chronic inflammation. All pain is caused by inflammation. Okay? There are certain disorders with your immune function that can result if you have too much inflammation, all right? There's a lot, they're finding more and more that cardiovascular disease is tied directly to cardiovascular inflammation, okay? Even some of the brain diseases that we see in older people as they start to age are tied to chronic inflammation. And they even know now that some forms of cancer are tied to chronic inflammation, all right? So what are we going to do when it comes to inflammation? Well, it's the same things we talked about when it comes to oxidation. We're going to eat right, okay? We're going to exercise. We're going to rest. We need to get our rest and manage stress. If you're not getting good sleep at night, if you're going on 4 hours of sleep at night, your body is going to respond with a defensive response. And if you keep doing that, you're going to be in a chronic state of inflammation. So we need to get our rest. We need to get our sleep. Okay? And we also need to avoid different toxic stressors on our system, because that can trigger that. All right? So the other thing we can do, as I explained before, is we can take the Lifelong Vitality products, because those products contain nutrients that specifically can help our body with a normal response to those stressors. Now, I want to say this clearly. This is not a drug. This is not an anti-inflammatory product. Okay? When we take anti-inflammatory drugs, we're telling our body to lower inflammation. That's not what this is. Okay? These are nutrients that help support your body just respond in a mediated, normal way. Okay? So this is not an anti-inflammatory. I want to make that clear. Okay? That's not what this is. But inflammation in the healthy sense is something we can manage through our lifestyle choices, and there's also nutrients in the Lifelong Vitality pack that can help with that nice, normal, healthy, mediated response. Okay? Do we understand? Is that clear? All right. Now, I mentioned before, we talked about this, that this is not just an issue of living longer, but we want to feel great too. And as I talk to people and they say, I'm feeling old, okay, I don't feel like I did when I was 20. They say I'm feeling old. What do you think the most common thing they tell me is why they think they feel old? What's the number one thing do you think they tell me? I heard it. Energy. Okay? People say, you know what? I'm okay. I just don't have that same energy that I had when I was younger. I'd like to have that same animo and that vigor, right? That vitality that I had when I was younger. Well, we've also included some ingredients in the Lifelong Vitality products to help with that side of aging. Okay? And let's go back to our model of the mitochondria. When we're young, the mitochondria in our cells are efficient at producing ATP in a very efficient way. But as we get older, as we turn 52, we have less mitochondria per cell, a lower number. It's not as efficient at producing that ATP, and this exhaust becomes a little bit more dirty as we get older. Okay, so this is one of the things that might be contributing to our not having that same energy that we did when we were younger, because our bodies simply, our cells, are simply not as good at producing this ATP as it was before. So when we formulated the Alpha CRS product in the Lifelong Vitality Pack, we included ingredients in that product, and you're also getting some from the vitamins and minerals that you get and the fatty acids from Z-Omega. You're getting a lot of nutrients that are actually helping with the chemistry of this happening. It's helping the health and the function of the mitochondria be more efficient in producing the ATP. Okay? You get things like acetyl L-carnitine in the product, and there's other nutrients that we specifically put in this system of product to help with that mitochondria health and function. Now, we have millions of people that have used Lifelong Vitality and continue to use that product. It's one of our top-selling products in the company, if not the top-selling product. There are many, many reasons why we should take the Lifelong Vitality product. I've only talked about a few today. That you can get, there's great reasons. There's bone health. there's brain health, there's heart health, there's all these reasons you should take the Lifelong Vitality products. But when I ask somebody if it's changed their lives, and if they say yes, they usually tell me one of four things, okay? The first thing they say is, you know what, I don't have that chronic pain that I used to have. And again, why would that be? We're lowering oxidative stress, we're helping with a normal inflammation response, and we're helping support the body in that response, okay? So they're saying, I have less pain. Another thing they say is, I have more energy. And that comes both from helping with that mitochondrial health, but it also comes just by providing your body with the nutrients that it needs to perform its regular functions, right? They say, you know what, I don't get sick as often. Well, our body's prepared to defend ourselves against lots of things, so we got to give it the right stuff to have it do its job, okay? So that's something I would expect too. And then they also say, you know what? My whole mood and outlook is better since I've been taking this product. Now, there's physical reasons for that. We're providing certain nutrients that help with brain health. But if somebody has less pain, more energy, gets sick less often, sleeps better, I think that probably would make them a little bit happier, don't you? Okay, so and all those things are the things that you can feel when you take the Lifelong Vitality product. Now, are any of you that, just a simple raise of hands, are there any of you that take the Lifelong Vitality product that's had one of these things happen to them when they take that product, okay? It happens a lot, doesn't it? It happens very consistently. And there's a lot of things that you're not going to feel, but you'll thank me when you die at the end of your life, because it will help you live longer, younger that way too, okay? All right, so great product. Now, we have another product called DDR Prime, and it's a great companion. You can take DDR Prime with the Lifelong Vitality products. And let me explain, you're going to see there's some similar things with DDR Prime that we've talked about, but this, again, can be a companion to the Lifelong Vitality product. DDR Prime is a blend of essential oils. It doesn't have any other nutrients in it, it's just essential oils. It comes in a small soft gel. And we've included 7 essential oils. Now, one of the properties of these essential oils is they function as powerful antioxidants. So this is an additional antioxidant that you get from DDR Prime. One oil in particular, this clove essential oil, is one of the more powerful antioxidants that we can use as an ingredient in dietary supplements, okay? But you have these other great oils, including like incienso, right? Or the frankincense, right? Now, why do we do that? Well, number one, we are increasing, these are supplemental antioxidants that help balance out this cellular stasis. But those other oils have also been studied, particularly to help with cellular biogenesis and apoptosis. And if we can help balance that function, that's another reason to take DDR Prime, okay, to kind of manage that cellular stasis. Okay, so they're antioxidants. They also support healthy biogenesis and apoptosis in cells. All right? So we can take those together. Now, we also can take DDR Prime on its own, too. You don't have to take it with Lifelong Vitality and vice versa, but certainly combining those two together would be entirely appropriate to do. Okay? So that's those are some products that we talked about to help with cellular health, help with that aging equation of living younger, longer. All right? Good? Yes. All right. Now I'm going to talk about the gut. Sorry. We're going to get personal here. We're going to talk about your guts. All right? And I'm going to talk more specifically about this step right here, this reducing our exposure to what we call a toxic load, not only on ourselves, but on our bodies. And for today's discussion, we're going to define toxic load as in 3 categories, okay? The first category would be contaminants like pollutants or toxins. These are poisons or toxins in your environment that you're exposed to that put stress on your body, all right? The second area is pathogens. These are like bacteria and viruses that can infect our bodies, leading to some problems in our bodies, okay? And then the third area we've talked about, and that's stress or this toxic load on a cellular level, primarily in the form of oxidation. And we've talked about some strategies to manage that. All right? And I also want to say that I'm not trying to scare you with any of this. Your body is very well prepared to manage a great amount of toxic stress. It's designed to defend itself against all of this, okay? There are sometimes, however, if our body gets overwhelmed with this, if somehow our body is unhealthy or we're weak or we get too much exposure to some of this, then we want to see what we can do to help support our body, okay? But we're defending against this all the time, all right? But let's talk about the other thing I want to mention too. So those are the toxin categories. These are different routes of exposure, okay? One of the way we're exposed to these toxins are we breathe in some of these toxins through our lungs. We can expose to some of these things through our lungs. We also can be exposed right through our skin. Our skin is a great immune organ, but some things, certain chemicals and things can pass right through our skin. We can be exposed through things in our skin. But I want to spend my time today talking about the other pathway, and that is your gastrointestinal tract. All right? Because that's a primary pathway that we're exposed when it comes to these toxins. Hippocrates has said, there's a quote that says, all sickness starts in the stomach. Okay, is that true or false? It's kind of partly true. We know a lot more about our bodies than Hippocrates did, okay? But it's kind of false, but in a way it's kind of true, at least partially true, okay? Because in your gastrointestinal tract, starting at your mouth, right, going down through your stomach and your intestine, 70% of your body's immune function takes place in your gut. All right? So that's pretty important. It's a pretty important defensive system our body has to protect us against these toxins. All right? That defensive function starts with your stomach. When things enter your mouth and get into your stomach is a very acidic environment and kills a lot of what enters your stomach that's not supposed to be there. And that's by design. All right? So your stomach kills a lot of these pathogens and different things that gets in your stomach. If something makes it past your stomach, it enters into your intestines. All right? And you have your small intestine and your large intestine. Now, the interior surface of your intestine is the equivalent to that of a tennis court. That's a nice fact you can share with your friends at lunch today, okay? And why is that? Well, the interior lining of your intestine is covered with some small finger-like structures called the villi. Okay, if you were looking at the surface of your intestine, it has the villi. And on each of the surface of that villi, there's microvilli, or even small finger-like structures on the microvilli. Okay? Now, the villi and the microvilli play an important role in digesting your food. But it also provides some other defensive immune functions in your gut. Now, covering the microvilli, the villi and the microvilli in your gut, is some friendly bacteria that we call microflora. It's friendly bacteria in your gut. This is not something your body produces. This is something that you were exposed to at some point in your life. Typically, when you're a small infant, you should be exposed to this friendly bacteria. And this bacteria grows in your gut, and it has a symbiotic relationship with your gut. One of the things that bacteria does is it helps you break down the food in your stomach. Okay, that's an important role it plays, help you digest food. The other thing that bacteria does is helps protect you against bad bacteria. It's stronger and competes, it crowds out and protects your gut from other bacteria that should not grow in your gut. Right? Another very important thing this bacteria does is it plays a role in the immune programming and messaging of the gut. Okay? When something enters, passes your stomach, makes it into your gut, if your body needs to put up a defensive action, this bacteria helps your body know when to respond to that defensive reaction, okay? So those are important roles that this microflora plays in your gut. Now, how might that microflora be compromised in your gut? We all should have that bacteria. Well, if you didn't have any of that bacteria, you would know, okay? You'd have lots of problems. But that microflora can be compromised through a number of ways. When we're under high amounts of physical stress, that can disrupt that friendly bacteria in our gut. When we take in different chemicals and toxins and preservatives and other things in our diet, that can disrupt our microflora in our gut. Certain foods can disrupt the flora in our gut, okay? That bacteria actually flourishes when we eat lots of fruits and vegetables because that bacteria loves fiber, okay? That bacteria does not love sugar. If we eat too much sugar, we're putting a stress on that friendly bacteria in our gut. As I travel around the world, we can be exposed to bacteria that's stronger than that friendly bacteria, and that can cause problems in our gut. And then here's something else I want you to remember. If you get sick, and if you have to take an antibiotic, antibiotics kill bacteria. And the antibiotic you take may kill the bad bacteria, but it also can kill the good bacteria in your gut. Now, if we have compromised microflora in the gut, it can be manifested in several different ways. Okay? We can have digestive upset. All right? It can be manifested in food allergies. There can be certain foods that we eat that we don't tolerate very well. Okay? It also can be manifested in chronic fatigue. We're always tired. Okay? There's a tight relationship between our gut flora and our energy levels. Okay? Our immune system can be compromised if we've disrupted that microflora in our gut. And they're even finding that there's a relationship between healthy bacteria in your gut and mood and emotional health even. That's the latest research is showing that. So it's very important that we keep healthy cultures or a healthy microflora cultures in our gut to perform all those functions that we talked about. So we have two products at dōTERRA that can help support that healthy microflora in our gut. Those two products are GX Assist and PV Assist. GX Assist is a product to help us get rid of anything in our gut that's not supposed to be there, while PV Assist helps us replenish that friendly bacteria in our gut. And I'm going to use an analogy of a field of grass that we're taking care of in our stomachs, all right? First thing we want to do, we want to use GX Assist. That's like pulling out the weeds in our field of grass, okay? GX Assist creates an environment. GX Assist is a blend of essential oils, and it creates an environment in our gut that is disruptive to the unhealthy bacteria and conducive to the good bacteria. GX Assist is a blend of essential oils, includes oregano, melaleuca, lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, and thyme. Okay, we've combined those oils, we take that GX Assist. GX Assist is enteric coated, so it goes past our stomach, it opens up in the gut, and we use GX Assist to kind of cleanse our gut. That's the first step. Okay? After we do that, we're going to follow up with our PV Assist Plus product. And that's like planting new grass in our grass. Okay? If you've ever taken care of grass, you know if you have weeds, you can go pull the weeds. But unless you get the grass healthy, the weeds are just going to come back. So after we pull the weeds, we want to focus on planting new grass and getting the grass healthy in our grass. And if we do that, then we're going to keep out the weeds in the first place. So that's what we're going to do with PV Assist Plus. PV Assist Plus is going to be, we're providing supplemental friendly bacteria in your gut, and that's going to help with that digestive function and the immune function of our digestive tract that we explained before. Now, when we take friendly bacteria in a supplement form, okay, when we're taking it in a supplement form, we call that friendly bacteria probiotics. And you've probably seen products that are available, right, in the market that are called probiotics. So probiotics refers to supplemental friendly bacteria that we're taking in our food, okay? Now, you can get probiotics in a number of products. You can get a lot of the yogurts that you eat, right, have live cultures of probiotics. Do that. Eat those. That's great. Certain cheeses, certain tofus have active cultures of probiotics. And as I travel around the world, I'm constantly trying to replenish my gut with different varieties of friendly bacteria, okay? But we have a very, very unique product in PB Assist Plus. Now, no one's ever done a probiotic product like this. We have a 2-layer system. When you see our product, we have an outer capsule and an inner capsule. In that outer capsule, that contains a clear liquid that is a prebiotic fiber. And remember I said these bacteria like fiber. So this is like food for the probiotics. The probiotics are found in that small inner capsule, okay? And that's where we find the strains of probiotics. Now, if I go purchase a yogurt in the store that says it has probiotics, and I eat that yogurt, which is great, we should do that. But if I eat that yogurt, that friendly bacteria is going into my stomach. And remember, my stomach is very acidic. And not much of that bacteria is going to be killed in my stomach. Some of it may make it through, but most of it's going to be killed in my stomach. All right? Well, our product is unique in that when this capsule goes into your stomach, this outer capsule may open up in your stomach, but it slows down the opening of the interior capsule. So this outer capsule can open in your stomach, releasing that prebiotic fiber, but that fiber is going to pass through your stomach to your intestine, and that green capsule inside is going to make it into your intestine, and it's going to open up in your intestine and deliver all of that bacteria to the site of action where you want it to grow in your intestine. So that makes this a very unique and powerful probiotic supplement. Now, when you're choosing a probiotic supplement, you want to make sure too that you're choosing a product that has a blend or a variety of bacteria strains. And you want both the lactobacillus and the bifidobacterium strains of probiotics, because the lactobacillus strains are active in the small intestine and the bifidobacterium is active in your large intestine. So you want to make sure you're getting strains of both. I think in our product you get 5 strains of lactobacillus and 3 strains of the bifidobacterium. So you want a variety of both the lacto and the bifidobacterium when you're choosing a probiotic supplement, okay? Every dose of the PB Assist Plus product contains over 6 billion CFUs, or what we call colony-forming units of bacteria. Now that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? It is a lot. And again, you're delivering that right to your gut. That's not dying in your stomach. You're delivering that right to your gut. But I also want to remind you, though, that sounds like a big number. It's a great number for a supplement. But that bacteria is going to grow and duplicate many millions of times more in your stomach as it coats, and not in your stomach, in your intestine, as it coats the inside of your intestine and grows. We're just seeding the growth of this friendly bacteria in your gut. Sometimes people worry. They ask me, well, if I take too much PB Assist, will it start growing up my stomach and out my mouth? Okay? So no, okay? We're just providing the starts of this bacteria. And that bacteria is going to grow and it's going to coat your gut and it's going to be self-regulating. Okay? I could take the whole bottle of PB Assist Plus all at once and I promise no bacteria is going to grow out of my mouth. Okay? It's not going to happen. Okay? We're planting the grass. Right? We're going to plant this bacteria in your gut, and we do it through this very innovative product with that 2-capsule system. We're doing that in a very innovative way. Okay? So, we're going to start on a program with GX Assist, and then we're going to follow up with PB Assist. Now, I'm going to give you some use instructions here. GX Assist is a very, very strong product. Okay? it's probably not a product that we want to give to small children. All right? PD Assist Plus is a very, very gentle product, and we can give that to everybody in our whole family. Okay? A good program with GX Assist might be you're taking GX Assist for 10 days. And after a 10-day period, you follow up with your PD Assist Plus. Now you can take PD Assist Plus on an ongoing basis for every day, a small amount every day if you'd like to do that. I personally don't take PD Assist all the time, but when I take it after I travel, when I'm under stress, I take it every day. Okay? But here's another thing you can do with PD Assist. After you take GX Assist for 10 days, you can follow up and take PD Assist, but you can take 3 capsules a day for 20 days. You can use the whole bottle, but take more every day. Instead of 1 at a time every day, which has some health benefits, you're going to take 3 at a time until you get daily, until the bottle is gone. Now, why would I do that? If I'm going to go plant grass, should I take a few seeds and throw it out, and a few seeds throw it out? Or it'd be better if I throw more seeds out, okay? Remember, we're trying to get that bacteria to start growing in your gut, all right? Now, if you have a history of compromised gut microflora, then you might want to consider using the PD Assist a little bit of time, forever and ever, okay? It's a great product. You can use it all day, every day. It makes a great companion to the Lifelong Vitality products, all right? We good? Yeah. If you have specific questions about that, I can answer after. But again, GX Assist, strong product. We can use that. We don't have to use that on an ongoing basis, but we can if we need to, if we have a specific situation. But GX Assist is something I go on every 3 or 4 months for a period of time, and then make sure I'm following up with PD Assist, all right? Now, if I've traveled someplace and I get a real bad stomach bug and I come home, that might be a time to use GX Assist and follow up with PD Assist Plus, right? But if I travel someplace and I come home and I don't have any issues, maybe I don't do GX Assist, but I still want to stay on PD Assist Plus, okay? We good? Raise your hand if todos estamos de acuerdo de eso? Okay, listo. All right, so we talked about these 6 products. All right, and I will answer questions after, okay, after the meeting. But I do want to answer your questions. All right. We've talked about these 6 products today. We talked about these first 4 in context of aging, of living younger longer, and supporting cellular stasis, right, and supporting our body with healthy lifestyle choices, and supplementing those lifestyle choices with these products. A great way to help us live younger longer, help support cell health. And then we talked about these 2 products, specifically about our gut health and the healthy function, digestive and immune function of this friendly bacteria in our gut. And we're going to support that with our GX Assist and PD Assist products, okay? Those are great products. Now, you have these 3 products now available for you to purchase here in Mexico. That's a good thing, right? And we're working quickly to bring you your Lifelong Vitality products that will be here in just several. I said Ephraim cut me off. He didn't want me to promise anything. No. We really are working to get these products here, and it'll just be a few months that you'll have your Lifelong Vitality products here to start using there. And I hope you consider using all of these. These are great products. I use these myself. My wife and my family use these products. Can I just make one more statement about I'm going to end with something. I started with something personal. I'm going to end with something personal. Do we have time for this? Everybody have the energy for this? Okay.